Hello everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning into the Darwin's Room channel. I appreciate your guys' support so much. I am sorry if these next two reviews are gonna be a little bit lower energy. I did just have a procedure a couple days ago that I'm still recovering from, so my energy might not be quite the same. But nonetheless, today we're gonna be talking about Fantastic Four First Steps. Fantastic Four First Steps follows Marvel's first family as they face off against Galactus and the Silver Surfer when their planet is set for extinction. This stars Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and Eben Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm, otherwise known as The Thing. We also get to see Julia Garner as Shala Bal, otherwise known as the Silver Surfer, and Ralph Ineson as Galactus. This was a movie that I was really looking forward to. I've always enjoyed the Fantastic Four movies. Well, let me say this. I like the original Fantastic Four movie as a guilty pleasure. The second one, not so much. And then the remake with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan and everyone there had potential, but it was extremely not so good. So I was really interested to see what this movie was gonna be like with the MCU's first crack at Marvel's first family and seeing how they would handle the Fantastic Four story. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this. I really liked it, and I think that they did a great job with it. That's not to say that it's not without its issues, but I still think that it had a lot of entertainment value and a lot of really heartfelt elements and strong themes perpetuated through the story that really elevated the quality of this film. To start off, it has great performances from everyone involved. I really enjoyed Pedro Pascal in this role. But especially, I think the biggest standouts here are Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. She is incredible. But then Julia Garner is also incredible as Shala Bal, Silver Surfer. She is intimidating but intriguing all at the same time, and I think that they handled that extremely well. I also really enjoyed the chemistry between Joseph Quinn and Eben Moss-Bachrach. I think their chemistry as the Human Torch and the Thing worked very well together. Their sense of humor, this sense of bonding, and their familial contact with one another. It just felt so right, and it felt very authentic, and I really enjoyed seeing how all of these characters bounce off of each other, and they did a really incredible job. I highly enjoyed their performances and the chemistry throughout this film. The movie also has solid visuals. Aesthetically, I love that kind of retro 60s look. It's a cool way to jump into an alternate dimension of Earth as it would be in present day for this timeline. And it was really cool to see that. And just visually, it looks great. The special effects are awesome. The CGI, for the most part, is pretty consistent. There are a few moments where it doesn't look too good, but those moments are pretty much few and far between because for the most part, it looks really solid. I loved the look of this film, and I found it to be eye-popping and engaging. The humor is also pretty effective. There are some moments where the humor doesn't fully land, but it never feels cringy or forced. It always feels very natural, and I like that a lot, so it does have some good chuckles throughout, and it flows very well with the story, which is the big commendable portion of this film, is that I just really enjoyed the story. I loved how it felt secluded. You don't have to watch anything that came before. You don't have to know what's going to come after to enjoy this one secluded story in the grand scheme of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I loved how it feels both big and expansive, but also grounded and focused on a minute scale. So I don't know how they were able to do that, but they managed to take an expansive story and bring it down into an intimate level. And I think that they handled that incredibly well. In terms of negatives, there are a few character cliches that are utilized that I think could have been handled a little bit better. I would have liked to see a little bit more of Reed Richards' powers. I think everyone else got a bit of a better spotlight to showcase whether it's their strength or their special abilities. I think that they all got a nice portrayal, but then Reed Richards was more focused on his intelligence, which is great, but I would have liked to see a little bit more of that Mr. Fantastic element, whereas I think in this story, he's a little bit more preoccupied and not able to do that. But nonetheless, I think that they leave it open for us to look forward to seeing more of the Fantastic Four in the future and more of their abilities moving forward. There's also some side characters that are introduced lightly, one particularly close with the Thing that I would have liked to see more of, but again, that's another element where it leaves room for something to look forward to in future installments that I hope that they do come around to revisit, because I think it would provide a compelling element for the Thing's character to bring out a little bit more emotion. But I just loved how emotional the story was, how the focus is so sincerely set on family and how family needs to stick together. And I think that the way that they perpetuate that message and portray those themes is really well done. And I absolutely had a blast with this film. It looks visually fantastic. The action is great. The chemistry between the cast is wonderful. And I had so much fun with it. It might not be amazing, but I think it's not too far from it either. I think it's a really good movie. And so I am going to give Fantastic Four: First Steps a 4 out of 5 stars. This is a solid follow-up to Thunderbolts. So far, the MCU is doing great this year. It seems like we're back. It feels like we're getting quality content. So please go and watch Fantastic Four: First Steps. Have you guys watched it yet? Let me know what your guys' thoughts were down below in the comments to continue the conversation. God bless you all. Take care.